white people killing brown people. I mean, I'm just going to cut it down. When Madeleine Albright back in the 1990s, I think 1995, 1996, was confronted by CBS News about 500,000 Iraqi children dying because of the sanctions the United States put on, she said, it's a price we're willing to pay. Now, just imagine that, an American Secretary of State saying it's a price we're willing to pay, about 500,000 children dying directly because of our policies. Now, if these were 500,000 Kosovo children or Albanians or white kids from Europe, America would be up in arms, the world would be up in arms, because you can't kill that many white people. You're not allowed to kill that many white people unless they're Ukrainians, and then apparently you can kill 1.1 million of them. But those are soldiers, not civilians. The idea of going in and bombing white civilians and killing them in this numbers is unacceptable. We do it to brown people all the time. We don't view brown people as being human beings. It's just God's honest truth. Here in America, we don't. We don't equate black lives to be the equivalent of white lives. We're used to having the numbers of black health figures skewed out. And we say, well, that's just their problem. Their problem. They're human beings. It's our problem, a collective problem. It's the same thing we have when it comes to Arab Americans. We don't care. We can slaughter them by the millions, and we don't care because, my God, and I would sadly say if we ever went to war south of the border, we have zero regard for Mexican lives or any brown lives. If you're not white, your life doesn't count. And I'm just being blunt, straight up honest. The American people can get mad at me and say I'm wrong. Look in the mirror and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that you know deep inside your heart that a dead brown person doesn't move you like a dead white person does, because we are an inherently racist society, because we still believe in white supremacy. We still believe in the exceptionalism of being white, that somehow we are superior to others, and we're not. We have had the benefit of history. We've had the benefit of opportunity to where we do populate the upper tiers of society. But that's not because the color makes us inherently better. It's because the color has been attached to policies that have put the other people down, allowing us to rise to the top. And it translates into foreign policy. We would not allow Americans to bomb white people the way we're bombing Yemenis. And we wouldn't allow Americans to talk about putting nuclear weapons on nations populated by white people the way we're talking about the potential of nuclear. And I have to tell you, the whole Iraq experience exposed the racism of the United States. We just allowed that nation to be eviscerated, gutted, slaughtered, murdered, and nobody blinked an eye. The numbers just didn't cause any concern on the part of America. 500,000 Iraqi children. That's a price we're willing to pay. And if any American is okay with that or doesn't condemn it, we now know what the problem is. If we said we're going to turn Odessa into the Riviera, we'll just find a way to put those 5 million white Ukraine. We'll displace them. We don't care. Wouldn't happen. Wouldn't happen.
First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, of whom I learn from each and every day. Healthy shalom to the brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. And I've got some insight on what this, he's an ex-military inspector, and what he had to say. And I believe his name is Scott Ritter. Yeah, right. And I believe they have, basically kicked him off of YouTube, like completely. Okay. And there's a reason for that, man, because he's going in and he's telling the truth. As a matter of fact, he's brought up a lot of different points, man. And, he's even going in on Esau Edom. The fact, he could be a Jake. I don't know, but he's probably Esau Edom because he's all mixed up in the military thing. Right. So, he goes all the way in. But I'm going to read you some scriptures. I'm going to back all this up with some scriptures because it's prophecy. Remember, the scriptures very plainly told you that Esau Edom, the damn devil, the Bible speaks of the old red devil, that he's the devil. It tells you that he's violent. They covet fields and take them by violence. They destroy houses, destroy shit. They destroy kingdoms. They destroy your heritage. And then they got the nerve to call somebody a culture vulture. Oh boy, that's crazy. The whole supremacy thing and all that, it's alive and well, and it's prophesied to be that way in the end times. So let's read the book of Jeremiah. Salakia, man, my voice just cracked. That's crazy. Call hello, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. Excuse me. Ooh, okay. Jeremiah 6 and verse 22. Let's read this. Thus saith the Lord, because behold, a people cometh from the north country, and a great nation shall be raised from the sides of the earth. You see that? And what is the uttermost part of the earth? That's in fact Babylon, aka America. All right. You know, the biggest prison house for Zion, the northern and southern kingdom on the planet. That's why most of the salvation is coming from. Verse 23, they shall lay hold on bow and spear. What's Esau's blessing? The sword, his weapons. You know, each and every piece of technology or whatever, you know, Jake came up with, because the scriptures very plainly told you that Jacob is the former of all things. You see? You know, everything he comes up with, we're not going to use it for war, but of course they are. It's in their nature. That's what they do. All right? And you heard what Scott Ritter said. He talking about brown people. We don't give a damn about no other nation on this planet. Not unless it's our people, not unless it's so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds. As long as they're not Israelites, we could care less. Matter of fact, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah said 2/3 got to go, and we see why. Line dancing, peg leg, all kinds of different. Jake does everything but follow Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. Okay? Through. Finished. And my phone had to chime on that one. AccuWeather. Let's see. Near miss explosion. What's that? A manhole explodes. See, all kinds of damn things going on, man. Okay? All kinds of things. All right, let's read it again. Verse 23. They shall lay hold on bow and spear. They are cruel. You hear that? And have no mercy. They don't give a damn about no 500,000 nobodies. Again, like he said, unless it's a YT, unless they're Edomites. And really, honestly, they don't give a damn about their own people, man. Okay? They don't really care. To them, it's all about their little 1%. You know, Amalek, if you will. All right? Like to see and to ride upon horses set in array as men for war against thee, O daughter of Zion. And see, the scripture just backed up exactly what I just said. And that's the spirit. You know, for what? For the controversy of Zion. That's what it's all about. The elect. And everything else can kick rocks. All right? You got, see, people don't, it's a lot of Jakes out there, man. There's so many videos that the elders have been putting them up, you know, and the brothers been putting them up. So many videos of Jake just got out of Stockholm Syndrome. If you don't know what that means, look it up. You know, or just trying to say the Hebrew Israelites are wrong because they are the HATE and no. Okay? No, and then you got other kids. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's about the elect. See, we want to get the hell up out of here. We understand through the eye salve of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the understanding that he's given us, being able to decipher in these mysteries. We understand that Esau Edom is the damn devil, and he's never gonna let up. He ain't gonna take his hand off the gas, a foot off the gas pedal. You remember the scripture said his anger did tear perpetually. He kept his wrath forever. And you think in these end days, he's going to let up? No. Amos 1 verse 11. He's a damn devil. And again, we don't give a damn about no musty armpit smelling Ishmaelites. Screw them. They're going to be slaves too. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of who? Edom. And for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword. You hear that? The progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel, man, and did cast off all pity. You heard what Scott Ritter said. This scriptures are very plain. Remember this, it said none shall want her mate. There's nothing you could match up with this Bible. It's a living book. Okay? He did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity. And his anger did tear perpetually. And he kept his wrath forever. That's a simple scripture right there. See? What does this say? Verse 12. But I will send a fire upon Timon which shall devour the palaces of Bozrah. Another way of saying America. All right? See? This place is finished. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of the children of Ammon. All right? You know who Ammon is, Moab and Ammon. And for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have ripped up the woman with child of Galilee, that they might enlarge their border. Okay? Ooh, let's read this. I got to read this too. Verse 14. I love it. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. But I will kindle a fire in the wall of Rabbah. I probably said it wrong, so like if I did. And it shall devour the places thereof. All right? With shouting in the day of battle. Woo, and that's coming. You know, he's gathering everybody in the valley of decision. Yahweh Shaphat, right? All right? With the tempest in the day of the whirlwind. This place is through. And the other places upon the earth are going to get burned the hell up too. All right? Only difference between Babylon and, let's say Israel, right? All right? Only difference between that is Israel's going to get rebuilt, and they're going to have to rebuild it. Remember, the streets are going to be paved with gold, pearls on the gates, all kinds of different things. It's going to be bad, man. That's why we got to endure. This is Psalm 73, verse 6. Their pride compasseth them about as a chain. Salakia. Let's go. Salakia. I got a little interrupted. Please excuse me. Salakia for that. Its weather's up and down, man. It's always something. I want to go home. Anyway, let's go here and read this. Psalm 73rd chapter. Well, I was going to go down to verse 6, but let's start at verse 2. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps have well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. You remember Job 9 verse 24. The famous scripture, man. Beautiful. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, of not wherein who is he. In fact, that's exactly who Scott Ritter was talking about. That's Esau Edom, the so-called white man. The wicked, the devil. And what do you expect the devil to do? Steal and kill and maim and do all that. That's what he does. It tells you that in the book of Romans. He's a vessel of wrath fitted, Romans the 9th chapter. Right? Vessel of wrath fitted to destruction, man. And it's coming. It's coming. Verse 4, for there are no bands in their depths, Salakia, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men. You see that? Not in trouble as other men. So when it comes down to these little things, even the, little microcosms of the way Jake is policed, the redlining, you can even go all the way down to reparations, which we was never going to get anyway. The scripture said we should only be oppressed and spoiled. Okay, so Jake's pushing for that kind of thing. That first and foremost, they in the world and don't really understand the scriptures, man. Okay, we are to wait on Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. He said he gonna make all this straight. He's gonna straighten it out. Woo! He's gonna straighten the hell out of it. All right, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued as other men. Therefore, pride compasses about them as a chain, and violence cover them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart can wish. You see? And as soon as these little problems start hitting them, they get on them social media, start crying about it. All right? And you got Jake. You know what Jake always says. Well, man, we've been going through it, forever and ever in a day. Right? Jake always says that. But not knowing it's going to get worse on us, too. It's going to come a time that's never been before. And we know some of the things that Esau Edom has done to us. And some of the things that we don't know about, we're going to know about. That's why the scripture said that you're going to have a two-edged sword. See? Yeah. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily, man. See? They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore, his people are returned hither, and waters of full cup are wrung out to them. So they're going to have to drink the shit out of it. You're going to have to drink it, Esau Edom. Ezekiel 35, verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Why does it say that? Look, we can go, let's do this. go back here. Let's just look this up for shits and giggles. List of a war involving the United States. Well, I mean, if you do that, it's all of them. I mean, all the newer wars, if you will. Let's see. Believe it or not, since the birth of the USA, yeah, here we go. This is the statistic I want. Believe it or not, since the birth of Babylon, all right, the great whore that sitteth upon many waters says only had 17 years of peace. And during those 17 years, what was they doing to Jake? All kinds of different things. Again, I briefly went into it. Redlining, Jim Crow. Come on, man. And then these what they call themselves patriots got nerve to walk around with 1776 hats on and talk about I'm proud. Proud of what? See? You see it says it right up top. The heading is War History Online. Come on, man. They the damn devil. Esau Edom's his MO, man. He'll do that. He'll try to damn sweet talk you into something, but behind your back, he's really try to destroy your ass, man. Salakia. Okay, yeah, I got that going. All right, Psalm 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. We all know butter is smooth, That's why, you got that butter knife. It don't have to be sharp. Butter is smooth and soft, man. Right? But what? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but what was in his heart? War. You see? Exactly what Scott Ritter was talking about. But war was in his heart, and your heart is your mind. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawing swords? See that? And what's what's Esau's blessing? You got it. Cast thy burden upon the Lord Yahweh. See that? And he shall sustain thee. You ain't got to go around like the don't fuck around crew and pull up boys and these jakes out there with staves in the camps. You ain't got to do nothing like that, man. You don't have to do it. Scripture just told you. He shall sustain us. That's the rock of salvation. That's that chief cornerstone. That's Yahweh Shai, man. All right. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Woo-hoo! That's beautiful. But thou, O power, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men, shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. That's a powerful scripture. They finished, man. Let's read this. The book of Sirach 12, verse 16. An enemy, they said the same thing. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart, which is your mind, he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Go back and read Ezekiel 35 again. He said, blood shall pursue thee because you didn't hate it. Over 500,000 this, over 100 million Israelites. It's about time to pay that bill, Esau Edom. It's coming due, See? Psalms 140 and verse 4. Keep me, O Yahweh, from the hand of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purpose to overthrow my goings. You see that right there? That's his purpose. His whole purpose is to rule the world in which he was made to do so. He was given that. He was given that from his father Isaac. Okay? And and that's after he done sold his damn birthright. And then he wanted it back. This devil's going down soon. Like in that movie, The Red Knight's going down. Down, down, down. That's the truth, man. Anyhow, hopefully this lesson was edifying, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, with whom I learn from daily healthy shalom. To the brothers out there doing the work of truth and sincerity. And why do you think I always say this? Every chance you get, chant this place down. Kwam Yasharallah and Wa a Bible ball. Boom, shalom.